What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the This Just In podcast, episode 20. Here, as always,
Yes,
Justin. I'm joined here by Jared. Jared, how you doing tonight?
Okay. Michigan State just lost, so that's not fun. But weeks going by.
Tough scenes. Weeks going by filming this on a Tuesday after our normal upload date. Guys, we've been struggling on the uploads. This one's coming out Thursday again. We've been busy during our normal film times, but hopefully that'll clear up soon. I just came from a basketball broadcast, so I'm pretty exhausted. We're gonna start things how we normally do with a blind ranking, and then Jared actually made our episode plan today, so he'll do the rest. But starting with our blind ranking, you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. I have you ranking household appliances.
Okay.
I think I like the theme of like random things. I think I'm enjoying that.
No direction, just think of a random category.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's more fun. The fridge.
Ooh,
The fridge.
that's a good one.
Starting with
That's
a
a good
banger.
one.
Yeah,
Houses a lot of things.
it does.
I'm gonna slot it at the 2
That's a 2. Okay.
because I have something over it.
You do. I think I
hopefully
know
it's
what
there.
you probably have over it. I can guess. Number 2, we got the iron. You know,
The
iron your
iron.
clothes.
Okay.
Make them look
An
nice
essential.
and neat.
An essential.
Yeah.
I'm slotted the 3. Gotta look good.
3.
Gotta look good.
Okay. I think this might be your number 1. We got the microwave.
There it is. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
It's such a versatile appliance. Like, it does a lot of things right.
I made mac and cheese in the microwave earlier, so
There we go.
yeah, it's essential. Next we got the stove.
The stove.
Different from the
Okay.
oven. This is the stove top.
The stove top.
You know, with little
Ah,
burners on there.
I'm gonna put it at the 5 just because it's kind of a limited. It's a
Okay.
little bit of a limited appliance. You only cook up certain things up at there, and then I mean, you're probably not gonna give me oven, but
I think chefs would disagree with you on that one because they be like cooking up stir fries and
well,
steaks
I'm not a
and-
chef like that.
That is true.
So
That is true.
I don't need to use it like that.
You're not chefing up like that.
No,
And
I'm
the
not.
5th one, we have the vacuum.
Okay, that's not bad. Because a vacuum is essential to having a good home, you know? You can't have a dirty home. That's just not the vibe.
I don't mind your list. I think I would switch iron and stove for me because I like
Probably.
cooking. I like cooking.
Probably.
so.
Yeah.
Plus, even if you don't cook a lot, you can still make stuff on the stove. It's helpful.
Mhm.
But pretty good list.
All right, so my list. I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw
Okay.
one of these videos, so I figured I could make a little list about it.
Oh, geez.
You are blind ranking iconic college football moments.
Yeah, I like that. Good topic.
Okay,
Okay.
our first one.
Mhm.
We got the Jadeveon Clowney hit after the ball moving up, giving them the ball, and he levels him.
That's so good. Okay. That is such a good moment. I think purely off of the fact that because I think you're gonna have some game winners, and obviously game winners have a lot more impact with the man. That was crazy. I think I'm gonna slot it at 3 because it was a crazy moment and the clip gets played a lot. But I think there's some more impactful moments out there.
Okay, I respect it. All right, for our second one, we got Miami versus Duke. The long kick return, lateral back, and
Yeah.
somehow they scored to win the game in Duke.
Man, I feel bad for Duke on that one. Oh man. Okay, so I think similar to how I put that one at 3, this is a crazy moment, but I think I'm gonna have to go 5 just because Miami wasn't great at the time, Duke wasn't great at the time. But doing that lateral kick return is absolutely insane. But I think I'm gonna have to slot it at the 5.
Okay, our next one, a classic. Chris Davis and the kick 6.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm debating here 1 or 2. Because I personally have a moment over that one.
Okay.
Personally, I think this would be a lot of people's ones, but I have a moment over it, but I'm not sure if you're going to give it to me, so I'm going to go 1 here.
Okay,
Kick 6 is a classic, of course.
it is. Our next, we got the Devonta Smith national championship game-winning touchdown to beat Georgia.
That is a good one. I'm tempted to go 2 just because That's a game winner for a national championship. That's crazy.
Mhm.
But I feel like you might have saved a heater for the last one. So I'm going to go
Maybe a
4.
heater for specific groups, but you know,
You
we'll
might have
see.
I'm gonna go 4 because you might have given me a heater here.
Okay. Now I don't know how much of a heater this is, but I got the signature Michigan State beating Michigan. This trouble with the snap on the punt.
Oh, that
Absolute
actually,
shock.
I'm kind of happy with that too because you get the iconic Michigan fan picture.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm actually happy with that too.
That's
I
a
like
good
that.
list. That's a
I
good
was
list.
I was thinking you might have given me the Penn State versus Michigan whiteout where they called the timeout at the beginning of the game. I
That
was
would have been a good
waiting-
one.
That's my personal
I didn't think about
number
that.
one.
I
That's-
didn't think about that.
That's my personal number one. So I was kind of waiting on that, but I
Okay.
figured you probably wouldn't give it to me, so I went with the kick six at 1.
hmm
I like that
That's a
though.
good list. That's a good list.
Good lists. All right, Jared, you made this episode planned, so what we got going next?
Indeed. All right. So first, we got a little bit of All-Star Game talk. What were we thinking? And then just the weekend in general. Personally, I don't know. To be honest, it wasn't great, but it wasn't, I guess, horrible. It's as good as a current All-Star weekend we could have gotten, I guess. Scoring through the roof, events gave us some great moments, especially Scotty Barnes. I don't know what
Not
he was
allegations.
cooking up in the skills challenge, but he was just there for fun. And then Anthony Edwards just shooting left-handed. Ooh, crazy weekend.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I didn't watch any of the events live. I watched them all back afterwards because I was playing games with my friends. But like, I don't think we could have gotten a worse All-Star weekend. I think All-Star weekend has just gone down the rabbit hole too far.
Yeah,
It's so unwatchable now. I mean, I had the choice the night of the All-Star game. Play Dead by Daylight with my friends or watch the All-Star game. And I was playing Dead by Daylight with my friends. Because like no one cares in the All-Star game anymore. I mean, yeah, it's cool to see these guys just knock down like logo threes every single play, but like I don't know.
211 points is crazy.
And I think they robbed Halliburton of the MVP.
I mean, yeah, it would.
He was more efficient than Dame, had more assists, and in Indiana, he
Yeah,
could do it.
yeah. That's not. Was kind of shocked with the dunk contest. I don't know
My
what
God.
we're doing with the dunk contest.
How
anymore.
did Jaylen Brown make
I
it
don't
past
know.
Jacob Toppin?
He didn't do anything too crazy special.
Jaylen
Toppin.
Brown dunked over like a 5'3" Kai Cenat.
Dunked over.
Who was
Kai
sitting
Cenat, sitting down in a chair. Like he clears that in an NBA game regardless. Whenever he dunks, like
That was
that's
some of the worst dunk. Like that was the worst dunk contest contestant of all time.
yeah.
That was
he
so
has
bad.
more in him. I just don't know why he
Does
went
he
basic.
though? He dunked with his left hand as
He did dunk with his left hand. Is he
He
beating
wanted
the
to prove to
allegations?
people that he can use his left.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was-
awful.
I was
Jacob
really hoping
Toppin actually had
Hame
some
would win.
dunks.
He did. He had some good dunks.
Honestly,
I would
I didn't
like-
even see Jame's dunks. Were they any good?
I mean, they weren't bad. I was just shocked Jalen got more points over him.
I
He
mean-
he dunked over Shaq in the first one, so I figured. But that's kind of like everybody
Yeah.
does that, I guess.
And they
So
bring
Jalen-
out Mac McClung every single year for just the dunk contest. He just
Yeah, it
can't.
might be over. Like I don't know who's gonna beat him. To be
He
honest, like
absolutely carries a dunk contest.
he does. Like there's unless you're bringing in somebody from outside the NBA to beat him in the dunk contest, that's the
Well-
only way I can see him losing. Or
That
Aaron
was one
Gordon.
of my thoughts about
Bring
how
him
to
back.
fix the dunk contest. Is like the actual players. Yeah, you can show off like their dunking skill, but it's more about the creativity than the actual dunking skill.
Yeah.
I think
Just
there
like-
are dunkers who like are content creators or who play in
Mm-hmm.
like other leagues that you should bring in for the dunk contest. It's a dunk contest. It's not a NBA player dunk contest. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the players don't work to
They don't
win
care
the dunk
about it
contest.
unless you're
There's
Mac
people
McClung.
out there that work on creative dunks and stuff like that with content creation and stuff like that. So if you bring those guys in,
Then you can have some crazy.
it'd be at
dunk.
least watchable.
Yeah.
Because like
I think-
technically, like you got the Basketball Hall of Fame. You put NBA players in that, like you're mixing the Hall of Fame as well. So like it's not
Yeah.
too far fetched to bring in other people into the dunk contest.
Plus, it kind of just adds like the marketability of the NBA too, with just getting more content creators or getting more people out there. But yeah, I think the dunk contest could be better. Rising Stars, I kind of expected the G League team to make it far because no one else cares, but the G League team is out there like trying to prove to everybody that they're good. So
yeah, that was an upset for sure. But I like to see it because I like to see Imani Bates win. He was having and then he was hooping after that too. I saw that on Instagram. Not related to the All-Star game, but hopefully he gets more attention.
Hope he gets minutes, man.
Yeah, I just don't know how he fits into our rotation right now. Like he's kind of he hangs out, and then if he's open for a three, he'll just shoot it, and then hopefully he makes it.
I mean, that's about all he can do.
Yeah, so he's just gotta open up his game a little bit more, and then maybe he can get some quality minutes. But
I think skills challenge.
Skills challenge, the iconic Scotty Barnes.
Yeah,
launching it backwards at half court.
Yeah, I mean Maxey hit a half quarter. That's really all I cared about.
He only cares about the Sixers.
Hey man, go Sixers. Maxey repped.
Go Sixers.
He repped well.
One thing I kind of liked was the Sabrina versus Steph 3-point contest. I like that. Yep. I think it was cool to see that integration. And you know what that opens up room for Caitlin Clark whenever she gets into the WNBA, or even like now if she doesn't.
Yeah, I mean she can do it now.
Draft. Yeah, because if there's for bringing G League guys who can still hoop like that, she can definitely probably make an impact where she is now, even in the WNBA. So it's not like she doesn't have the talent. And then with that, it brings media from both sides, and especially college as well. It's like if in the future we could bring college guys into the All-Star weekend, even on a male side, maybe. Generational prospect, maybe get them into the All-Star game and see how they can work with them. But yeah, what do you think about that? How much does that open up for the WNBA?
Honestly, I think the Steph versus Sabrina shootout was the best part of All-Star weekend. I think it was cool. I mean, Sabrina literally tied the 3-point champion winner in score, and Steph still won, which is probably why they don't have Steph in the 3-point contest anymore, because I mean he won anyway.
Just be unfair, yeah.
But that was so cool. I mean, Sabrina was balling out. I mean, she had a crazy run on the shots.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that I was kind of scrolling through comment sections on posts about this throughout the weekend and all that, because there's a lot of people who just didn't like it because they don't like women's basketball. Because there's so many people in comment sections saying how it was awful, and there were people who didn't watch saying Sabrina should have shot from the NBA line. She did. She shot from the NBA line. Yeah. I don't know. I don't get why these people are so up in arms about it. I'm a fan of women's basketball. It's basketball. I like basketball. Basketball's fun to watch, man.
Basketball's basketball.
There are some very good WNBA players who, despite what these people who hoop in the Y would say, would absolutely destroy them. I mean, I think that it's a good foundation. I think they might be starting something for the All-Star weekend with this. This is kind of like the foundation. It's opened up the ability. I think they talked about next year doing partners. So Clark and Sabrina versus Curry Dame or Curry Clay. I think what would be really cool is if you brought those players just into the regular 3-point contest.
Yeah,
bring
that's a
three
good idea.
three WNBA players every year into the regular 3-point contest.
Mm-hmm. I would like that, because then it gives the WNBA, who's in kind of a dry spot during this time, kind of being over, because they're in their offseason and stuff like that, where it's not really talked about. I know at least you're getting them into a lot of media attention, and then you're able to kind of build the WNBA up from where it was, and then give those players a name, which they probably wouldn't have if they didn't bring them into the All-Star game.
And it gets just more exposure, plus a little bit more connection between the WNBA and the NBA, because they're connected, but they don't really ever show it.
Yeah, it kind of seems more like the NBA is sort of the only reason WNBA exists, kind of in the media. So hopefully throughout this, it can sort of get away from that and then keep that integration, but keep it more in a positive for the WNBA and not sort of a negative.
This opened up a whole lot of possibilities. I always kind of assumed that Sabrina was going to shoot from the NBA line because
100%.
she's competitive. I mean,
exactly.
And
Why would she not?
it,
Like,
it's not like she needed to shoot from the WNBA line. She tied the 3-point champion.
yeah,
I mean, she was I'm absolutely insane. That was super fun to watch. I'm excited to see where they kind of take that format.
yeah, something to look forward to in the future. But now we're gonna look to the past. So in our episode, I don't know exactly what episode it was, but we gave our top 5 teams at the moment,
Okay.
and that has very much shifted. So
It
what we're gonna
has.
do now
Yeah.
is give our current top 5 teams going into the second half of the NBA season.
Okay, so I've got a question for you. Are we taking injuries into account?
Yes,
Like current injuries. Okay.
current injuries into account. Since
Because you know what team I'm asking for that for.
yeah,
Because they would still be a top 5 team if Joel wasn't hurt. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
yeah, probably, maybe.
Dude,
I don't know.
dude was playing out of his mind. I mean,
He was. And Embiid was playing out his mind. But what are the Sixers as a team, though?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We got Kenneth Lofton out there getting run. I mean,
Kenneth Lofton,
Mo
Ricky
Bamba.
Council. God, he was
Ricky
killing us,
Council's a
bro.
baller, bro.
He was killing us.
I like Ricky Council. He's a good player.
He's a good guy. All right, you wanna start with your number one? I feel like it's gonna be a consensus.
Yeah, as much as I
Number
hate
one.
to do it, I hate to
The
do
Boston
it. but
Celtics.
Boston Celtics, yeah.
Yeah.
They're a good
And-
team. I mean,
They're good, and unless they get drilled with the injury bug or they forget how to play basketball, they're gonna be a really good team and probably sitting at number one for a good stretch of this second half. I just don't see a way they stop doing what they're doing.
I think like the saying I know a lot of people always said is 40 wins before 20 losses means you're a true contender. They have 40 wins before 15 losses.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
unbelievable.
that's insane.
Can they carry into the postseason though? Who knows?
We'll see. I don't know. They
All
always
right, do you wanna share your number 2?
Yeah, my number 2 team. I'm looking over here in the Western Conference. All
Okay,
right.
that's where I am.
All right. I think these might be a little different though. I'm going to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay, that's my 2 as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
I do have the Thunder at 2.
The Thunder are such a well-constructed team right now. I
Yeah.
like the moves they made at the deadline to get Gordon Hayward. Shea is playing out of his mind. Chet is playing great. Jalen Williams is playing exceptional. Josh Giddey's playing basketball. I think like I don't know. I just think they're a good team. I think the only
Yeah, they
thing
do
that
a
can
lot of
hinder
things
them
right.
come playoff time is that they're just a little inexperienced and young.
Yeah.
But they're good.
Yeah, they're a good fundamental team. They don't do a lot of things wrong. They do the things that they need to do to win, and then hopefully they turn it up in the postseason because I really want to see them compete. But as you said, it's gonna be experience that might hurt them, especially in a competitive West where you're seeing most teams that have had not long playoff experience, but multiple times in the playoffs, and they know how playoff basketball works. So hopefully they can compete with those guys, but I don't know if they will.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited for this year's playoffs. So there's a lot of good teams. This is a good playoff.
It is. All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 team, I'm going back to the West.
Ooh, I'm in the East.
You're in the East. I think I know where you're going. Maybe not.
Let's see.
My number 3 team, I'm going back to the West. I'm going with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They were top 3 for me earlier in the year. I think they actually might have been my number 1. And they're still top 3 for me now. Still a top 3 defense in the NBA. They're about to hit that 40 wins before 20 losses mark. Ant's playing well. Cat's playing really good. Gobert's playing good. They're a very, very well-built team. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. They're coached well. I am really excited for the Timberwolves come playoff time.
Okay, so for me, might be hyping us up a little too much, but I do have the Cavs right now.
I knew where you were going.
We're playing some elite ball. Mitchell is doing what he does. Mobley has stepped up a little bit more in the shooting game, especially. He's not horrible from 3 now. He'll hit him when he was cooking a little bit, especially in San Antonio when only three he went 3 for 3, which isn't a crazy sample size, but as long as he's able to space the floor more, it really opens up the offense. And then as long as Garland coming back from injury can give us like 10 assists a night, maybe with a little bit of a backseat role, sort of playing with Mitchell. I just don't know how we get stopped necessarily unless we're hurting ourselves shooting wise. That's the only thing that we get a little too crazy with. If we can't hit threes, we might be the worst team in basketball. It's really bad. But the defense is lights out, and especially playing in a weaker Eastern Conference, I definitely can see us going far in the playoffs, and yeah, maybe making a little bit of a run. So I do have us at 3 right now.
I don't hate it. I'm really conflicted thinking about my next slot, right? I've only got 4 and 5 left, and there's like 4 teams I'm heavily considering right now.
Okay.
Right, I'm considering the Cavs and the Knicks from the East, and the Clippers and the Nuggets from the West.
I'm in the West both ways.
And the fact that 2 of those teams aren't going to be on there is tough.
That hurts. Yeah.
It does. Because I don't think I can exclude. I'm looking at one team, there's no way I can exclude them, but that means I have to pick between the other 3. Oh my gosh, this is tough. Okay. I'm just going to say outright right now, I'm going to eliminate the Clippers from my top 5. I don't believe in the Clippers at all. They're playing good ball, but I don't believe in them. I think my 4 is gonna have to be Denver. I don't like Denver, but I know they're 4th in the West right now. It's still a very dangerous team. Jokic is still there. Murray's still there. Porter Jr. still doesn't pass. Still a really, really well-coached team. And they're the reigning champions for a reason. I mean, until further notice, I think they have to stick in this top 5.
Okay, I like that. But for my number 4, I'm gonna go with your number 3, the Minnesota Timberwolves, atop the West. They're a great team. They're pushing the mantra of 2 bigs can work, and I think it's cool to finally see them able to lock it in. And then as long as Ant can continue his great offensive play, and then they continue fundamentally sound basketball and just keep it the level they're playing or similar to that, I don't see a way they fall out of the West in any way. But hopefully, come playoff time, they are a little bit inexperienced, I would say, besides Gobert in the playoffs a little bit. But, I don't think that's going to hurt this team. They are continuing this great play in a tough Western Conference. As I guess I could say the same for the Thunder. But I think this team is older, and they've played. I mean, they played in that play-in game, and they showed that they can compete even with that minimal roster that they had, and a little bit more injury-prone roster. But I think they're going to bring that heart into these playoffs and the back half of this season and continue to play at that elite level.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like the Timberwolves. Now I got to decide. So, okay. Do you want to guess which 2 Eastern Conference teams I'm thinking about here?
I mean, you stated the Cavs are definitely one of them.
I already said which 2 teams, didn't I?
Yeah, it would be the Knicks, because you did say that.
I did say which.
Unless you're trying to trick me and throw the Bucks.
No, I forgot that I already said it.
You named all 5.
Okay,
of them.
As much as my brain's not working tonight. As much as I want to put New York at 5, I can't consciously put them over Cleveland right now. But since you already mentioned Cleveland, I'm going to put them at my 5, but I want to talk about the Knicks real quickly. Just kind of like an honorable mention, because they are playing such good basketball recently. Jalen Brunson has been insane. I really like the moves they made at the trade deadline. We talked about that in the past few episodes with the trade deadline. The Knicks made some really amazing moves. I just think once they get fully healthy, this team is going to be an absolute threat. I would not be surprised if the Knicks make Eastern Conference Finals at all. They're a very, very good team.
They're playing some good ball, and once Randall gets back, they're gonna be a dark horse. Especially in a weaker Eastern Conference, they should be honestly a top 4 seed, probably hovering around the 3-4 area. But yeah, they're a scary team. They've showed that they can play in the playoffs, and it's hard to play in New York, coming from a team outside of that. So whenever they're in the Garden, they can play some really good basketball and beat some good teams. So for my 5, I have the Denver Nuggets. I don't think they're playing to the best of their ball just because they know who they are. coming from a championship, they didn't change. They don't have to change much. And even though they let Bruce Brown go, they're still playing good basketball. And once they've got that core, and I don't see where we can't put them top 5 with that core. Jokic is a machine. Murray is consistent. And then MPJ, elite shooter. Maybe takes a little too much. Maybe should swing the rock more. But that's already set in stone for him. Yeah, they're just a good team, and they haven't shown me that they shouldn't be a top team. So
Yeah, I agree. Something interesting, neither of us including the Bucks.
I don't like what the Bucks are doing, I guess. I don't know if that's looking from a division perspective. I just don't think it's gonna work in the playoffs.
I don't either.
Like, they're good, but they're not great.
I don't see it with Milwaukee. The way they built their roster, I just don't see it.
And Doc Rivers gets there. He's pulling excuses out of the bag.
This
whenever he
dude,
needs
Doc
to.
Rivers, should not be an NBA head coach. I'm sorry.
I
Like,
don't know what he's cooking up there.
I had to watch him coach my team for a few years in Philadelphia. He should not be an NBA coach. My God, like, this dude is terrible. Like, when are teams gonna realize that Doc Rivers
Yeah,
isn't? He's easy to beat.
he's,
I mean,
he's
easy
past
to
his
beat.
prime.
He's
Past
easy
his
to
prime.
beat.
Yeah. All right. So our last little section we have here, we're straying away from basketball, and with the MLB season coming up, spring training, camps, all that's going on right now, we're gonna give our early division winner predictions.
I like it.
So, first, we're gonna start the American League. Who do you have winning the American League East?
AL East. All right. So
Very
I'm
competitive
thinking
division here.
there's like a lot of good teams in this division.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Do I think the Orioles repeat? Yes, I do. I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Orioles. They made the trade for Corbin Burns to kind of boost that pitching staff. I think that their young guys like Adley, guys like Gunnar, are gonna just continue to get better. They've still got more prospects coming up. They're so built to just play good ball. I mean, I think they got their ace that they were looking for with Corbin Burns. I think they kind of filled every need that they had. I mean, they filled the holes. I really, really like the Orioles, especially for the regular season too. I mean, I really, really like that team.
That's not a bad pick. I'm going to stray away from Baltimore. I think they're a competitive team. I do have them in second. I'm going to cross out Tampa early. They don't have firepower anymore in this competitive division. As lame as it's going to be, I feel like the Yankees are going to win this division. You're getting Soto. I know it hurts. I hate it. I hate saying it. But you're getting Soto and you have Judge. Like, the amount of, as I know it's only 2 players, but that is so dangerous in that lineup. There's not a lot of teams that are going to be able to stop that, I feel. And I think the reason they struggled a lot last year, they were inconsistent at times, and then the Judge injury, that hurt the morale, I feel, for that team a lot, and they felt like they lost a big part of their roster, even though it was only Judge being hurt. But yeah, and you still keep the rotation, which is a very strong rotation. And big market New York's going to compete as hard as they can every year. That's what their club's about, and I think they get it done winning that division this year.
They could still potentially get Bellinger or Snell too.
They could. Those guys are still out there.
Still on the market.
I don't know how. Like, I
How
don't know
is
how
nobody
nobody's snagging them.
offered Cody Bellinger or Blake Snell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what's going on?
All right, we're gonna move to probably the weakest division in baseball, the AL Central. It's a barn burner in there. Who do you have making out this garbage division?
Yeah, man, there is it's a difficult division to pick.
It is very.
I can easily eliminate. Okay, I gotta make sure we're talking about the right division here. I'm still learning baseball divisions. This is Royals, White Sox, Guardians.
Royals, White Sox,
Okay,
Cleveland, Detroit, Minnesota.
I can easily eliminate the White Sox and the
That
Tigers.
team is bad.
Tigers and White Sox are eliminated. White Sox might be the worst team in baseball. Um,
That's a good. I like. Really like
I'm
that.
low key, as weird as this sounds, I low key like the Royals, but I don't think they win it. But they made a few moves, locked down Bobby Witt.
Yeah,
I think they're in a decent spot. I'm going to go completely no bias here. I'm going to go with the Guardians. I think the Twins didn't do anything to really get better in the offseason, and they didn't really make it that far to begin with. I think the Guardians didn't do much to get better either, except they just give their young players another season to grow. I think you got an ace with Tanner Bybee. I think you got another ace with Gavin Williams. McKenzie's going to be healthy. No, another year to grow for guys like Bo Naylor. I think if, honestly, I think the X factor, honestly, is Jimenez. If he gets back to that form he was 3 seasons ago, I think the
he was
Guardians
so good that year.
can get back to winning the division. Just got to see what the young guys in the outfield, how they progress. We know who Quan is, but we got to see some of these prospects out there, how Will Brennan does, if George Valera comes up, if Chase DeLauder comes up, and how they play.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna take the Guardians. We squeak it out over the Twins. I mean, we didn't necessarily get much better from last season. We just gotta, as you said, we gotta hope guys grow. And guys definitely underperformed last year, especially with Jimenez coming off an elite season. And if you're giving guys like Bo time to move up, and even Quan struggled a little bit. He wasn't the hitter that we saw that year, but he still plays great defense. But yeah, that rotation is going to be very scary with Bieber, McKenzie, Bybee, Williams. That's an elite four. And as long as we can produce offense, I think we're going to be a sort of an 85-90 win team. And that should be enough to win this division because there's not a lot of pushback from the Twins. I don't think the Tigers are anything special, and the Royals, they did get better, but they won 56 games last year. They're not going to bump up to 80 or 90, I don't think. So yeah, I do have the Guardians winning that. And our next division, we got the AL West with a sort of a sleeper division. You got three teams that are definitely competing in there. And then the Angels who, they're doing something, but they always want to compete. So we'll see how that goes. Who do you have?
Yeah, the Angels are there. They exist.
They exist.
Okay. I think I'm just going to go with the easy pick here and go with the Astros. I don't like the Astros, but they got better. And they got Josh Hader. They just boosted their bullpen so much. And they're already a good team to begin with. Obviously, we have to see what they do now without Dusty Baker over as a manager. But I think they'll be just fine. They've got a lot of good players over there. And it's the Astros. I mean, come on. They win every year.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna disagree with you here. I'm gonna go with the World Series winning Rangers. I think Dusty Baker, him leaving is really gonna hurt that team. Dusty Baker was a great manager for them, even though that division was still close last year. And I think that the Rangers they're gonna ride that momentum into this season because they didn't really lose guys, and you're gonna get DeGrom back this year. Hopefully, and he's able to stay healthy. Adolis coming off a great year. Corey Seager, he's the best shortstop, second base, whatever he wants to play that day, in my mind. Super underrated. But yeah, that division was close last year, but I think this year Texas takes that step up and they start to gain that dominance over Houston now after getting that title over them.
I can see it.
All right, so now we're going to move to the National League, and next we're moving to the National League East. Who do you have winning the National League East?
I gotta think of NL East teams here. Hold on.
That'd be Atlanta, Philly, Miami, Mets, and Washington.
Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be the Braves.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Braves. I mean, they're the Braves. They got better. I guess arguably better. They got Chris Sale. I don't know if you think that's better or not. But they're still the Braves. I mean, Strider, Acuna, Olsen, Albies. They're just such a good team.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here. They didn't lose anybody significant, while Philadelphia is a great team. And I guess we have to look out for the Mets.
No, we don't.
The Mets are just so hit or miss.
Not
I
to
can't
win
see
the
them winning
division.
this
Maybe
division.
wild card.
They can maybe make a run in the wild card, but they're definitely not winning this division. But yeah, Atlanta didn't really get worse. As long as they keep the play that they did last year, they're gonna easily win that division. And next we got the National League Central. A little
Okay.
bit, the Central being probably the weakest division in this league. But who do you have winning?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
I think they had a hot streak last year in the middle of the season, didn't finish off so strong, but I think they're a young team. Give them some more time to grow. Andrew Abbott was good. Hunter Green was good. Ellie De La Cruz was good. Matt McLean was really good. Spencer Steer was good. You give those guys another season. They made some moves. They signed Heimer. This is a fun name to play. Fun name to say. I think the Reds are just in a good position to kind of come in and take over a weak division here.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with Milwaukee again. They locked down Brandon Woodruff recently. And just Milwaukee, they're not really like a talked about team, but they do a lot of things right. And as long as Yelich doesn't sort of fall off this season as he has in the past, I think that they're probably not going to run away with this, but they're going to have a comfortable lead. I did think about Cincinnati, but I just think they're too young and haven't showed consistent flashes. They had that great run, but eventually the wheels fell off. And
That's
until
fair.
the wheels don't fall off, I can't give them the edge over Milwaukee in this division.
That's fair.
And our last division, we got the NL West. Who do you have winning the National League West?
I mean,
Yeah,
is
this will be-
is this even a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's going to be the Dodgers.
Come on. I mean,
Maybe not in the playoffs, though.
they got okay, but the regular season. Come on, they got Otani,
Yeah.
they got Betts, they got Freeman. They're not losing.
They're not losing that division.
They're just
Yeah.
not losing that division.
Unless the Padres rise up from the ashes or something.
No shot that happens.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah, that's going to be a sweep for the Dodgers, I feel. I just don't see them losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that was about all we got for that episode. Good
I think
episode,
that's
Jared. You should make plans more often. That was good. Good plans for that episode.
Appreciate
Yeah, episode 20 as always. Links to our socials are down in the description. All that good stuff you'll find in there. And yeah, Jared, you got anything else for us?
it. I don't got anything else. Make it a good week.
Yeah, make it a good week, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Indeed.